Hello again, Silverfit. It's Try Coach Emily again. Today we're going to work against the wall for some strength and conditioning exercise that's going to be really good for your everyday life. So let's get ready for this. For the first part of this video, we're going to run through the exercises first, and in the second part, we're going to roll through it in a routine. So start with the first exercise, calf pedaling. We're going to put your hands on the wall. We're going to stay about 2 steps away from the wall, and then we're just going to pedal the feet. Going to lift the heels up and then push down. See how it feels with your calves. If it feels too tight, then you can go a bit closer to the wall. If this feels like nothing, then you can step a little bit back. What you should feel is that you have a little bit of a stretch, maybe about a 2 out of 10, and you're pedaling through nice and fluid. Go. So keep pedaling. We're going to do another 15 seconds or so of pedaling. We're going to think about getting your legs hip width apart, your toes pointing forward, and your knees and hips are in line. 3, 2, 1, pause. Good. Okay. Exercise 2. We're going to be putting our hands on the wall again. This time, we're going to go knees up. Okay. Get your knee as high up to around waist level. We're thinking about controlling your core by gently tucking your tailbone in. So then this keeps your back flat. Okay, so let's do this again. So it's knees up, pedaling through. Pretend we're marching. You have some weight through your hands on the wall. And we're marching with knees nice and high. We're going to get those knees as high to waist, but before your hip needs to shift to accommodate it. So we're going to march with high knees up to the point where you can keep your hip level. Let's do another 15 seconds and then we'll move on. Pay attention to see if you can lift the knees evenly. Are they coming up to the same height? If not, adjust your hip and see if it's because your hip is twisted. And 3, 2, 1, pause. Okay, so now we're going to go on to wall sit. Put your back against the wall. Your knee and your ankle should be in line. So we're going to think about pushing back into the wall, and we're going to gently tuck and tilt to find a place where you can put the back tight on the wall with no gap. Where you should feel is on top of your leg, on your quads. It feels like you're working. If it's too much, then you can come up a little bit, then that should be a bit easier. If you want a bit more of a challenge, you can come down a bit, like you're sitting, but you're also pushing against the wall, and you're tucking the tailbone in, and we're going to hold here. Pay attention to your feet. They should be pointing forward, your knees pointing forward, and then your hands can just gently rest on your lap. You're going to hold here for another 5 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1, pause. The next one, we're going to go heel to bum, and then we're going to shift weight from one leg to the other. While we do this, we're going to pay attention to where your waist is. So there should be no bend on the waist. You're keeping the back nice and straight, your hip pointing forward. You're drawing your heel to your bum. Nice rhythm. Cool. You can take another 15 more seconds for this. Think about pushing your hip forward, heels to bum. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Moving on. We're going to use this wall behind me. I'm going to think about slightly bending those knees. Keep your feet slightly wider than your hip width. And I'm going to turn and aim to touch the wall with one hand on the wall behind you. Pay attention to keep the hip as much facing forward as possible. We don't really want to completely turn ourselves over. We're just looking for turning from the top. So if you can't turn all the way around, it doesn't matter. We're just looking for as much as you can. Touch it. Touch the wall with one hand and back. Touch the wall with one hand and back. Let's go 10 on each side. So on the right side first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. Keep bending your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. We're going to add on to a squat, a mini squat. So if you find this movement that hurts your knees, then you can skip the squat. We're going to look for just a body rotation. So what we're going to do is we're going to touch your knees, squat down, touch the wall, knees, squat down. So every time we come to the middle, we're pretending there's a chair or stool underneath you. You're going to sit down a little bit. While we're doing this squat movement, you're going to really aim for going up and down rather than forward and back, because this is not very good for your back. So we're going to go up and down. Really going to train these muscles on your legs. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go 10 all together. Touch. Down. 2. Down. 3. Down. 4. Down. 5. Down. 6. Down. 7. Down. Almost there. 8. 9. Last one. And back to center. So the next one, we're going to push the outer side edge of the foot into the wall. You're going to come into a stance with your legs a little bit wider than your hip. While we're in this stance, we're going to actively try to push the outer edge of the foot into the wall. So pay attention, your pelvic, tuck and tilt until you find the flat bit on your back. You can put your hands on your belly, just below your belly button, and your other hand just by your back. And you can do tuck and tilt until you find a flat back. Keep pushing into the wall for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. We're going to switch leg. We're going to use this leg now. Pushing against the wall, same again. Slightly wider than hip stance. Engage your core. Tuck and tilt your tailbone until your back is flat. Keep pushing. Keep pushing for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. This time, we're going to push your heel against the wall. So your stance should be one leg forward, one leg back, about a step away from each other. Keep your back straight. We're going to push your heel against the wall. If it's too hard, you can put a cushion between your heel and the wall. And your stance width, it's always hip width apart again here. So you're using your front foot to traction forward, your heel pushing against the wall, tuck and tilt the tailbone until you find the right place. Stay here again for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Other leg pushed against the wall, one step back, front foot traction, rear foot into the wall. Tuck and tilt the tailbone until you find the right place. Focus on getting those feet pointing forward. We don't really want any duck footing or pigeon toeing. Keep pushing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. So those are the exercises we're going to go through. Let's string it all together into a routine. So we're going to take 30 seconds of calf pedaling and 30 seconds of knees up. Let's get ready. Hands on wall. Tuck and tilt the pelvic bone until you get to a flat back. Calf pedaling first. Let's go. This is for 30 seconds. So think about keeping your feet on the floor. We're just lifting the heels, pushing it back down again. Mini march. Heel up, heel down, keeping your toes on the floor. If your stance is too narrow, widen them so it's hip width apart. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch to high knees. Knees up, knees up, knees up. Keep pointing the toes forward. We're here for another 30 seconds as well. Straighten up your back, flat back, knees up. Focusing on keeping the hip nice and level. Draw your shoulders down, don't let them hitch up. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switching to wall sit. Slide yourself down to where you can hold for 30 seconds. Tuck and tilt the pelvic bone until there's no gap between your back and the wall. Rest your hands on top of your leg. You can use the feet to push out that way so you get more force pushing you into the wall, thus making it a little bit easier. You should feel some tension on top of your leg on your quads. That means you're working. Keep breathing, you're almost there. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lean forward first, push off the wall to get yourself back to standing. Into heel to bum. So, stance wider than hip. Squeeze the heel in towards your bum, keeping your hip pointing forward. Switch weight from one side to the other. Squeeze through it. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Good. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause here. Stance, hip width apart. We're now going to touch turn to one side for 10 on each side. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Double hand touch and squat down in the middle. So it's touch, down, other side, down, touch for 10. Here we go. 1. Bend those knees. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Last one. And back to here. We're gonna push against the wall with the side of your foot. So we're gonna squat down, bend your knees, get a little bit lower first. Make sure the outer edge of your foot is pressing against the wall. And stay here for 15 seconds. We're gonna really traction out, push those feet away, and really push the side of your foot against the wall. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch to the other foot, pushing against the wall, pushing against the wall. Control the back, flat back. And this exercise is particularly good for you because it trains those muscles to keep your stance wide enough so that your legs don't cross over when you walk, and that's a safer way to walk. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Heel to back, wall, front foot facing the front. Heel into wall. We're going to keep pushing against it. Front foot, we're going to really push forward, rear foot into the wall. Keep your back straight. Keep holding it. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch foot. Rear foot, heel into wall, toes pointing forward, front foot traction, so you got all your fours pushing against the wall. Keep pushing, flat back. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Set 2. Let's go again. Hands on wall, calf pedaling. See if you can add a bit more speed and pace to it now. Nice pace. Just lifting your heels off the floor with your toes pointing forward and sticking to the floor. Pedal through. You're going to build up some pace. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost there. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switching to high knee. Again, you're going to start to build some pace. Keep those back flat. High knee, high knee, high knee. Some more pace. Keep going. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Into wall sitting. Fill that gap between your back and the wall. Get your ankle in line with your knees. Slide down if it's too easy for you. Slide up if it's too difficult. And I'm going to hold here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lean forward, push against the wall. Heel to bum. Switching weight from one side to the other. Good. Keep your back straight. Excellent. Stay tall. Squat slightly down in the middle. Build up some pace. Good stuff. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause here. Slightly bend your knees. Touch the wall. Return to center 10 times. Keep your knees pointing forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Touch, squat, touch for 10. Here we go. 1, 7, 8, 9, 10. Side of your foot pushing against the wall. Here we go. Squat down a little bit and push. Imagine there's you got a piece of paper between your feet and you're trying to split open and tear that piece of paper apart. So keep pushing. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other foot. Push against that wall. And you're pushing. All the weights on the side, the outside edge of your foot. And you're also using your bum and all of your leg to push it. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heel pushing against the wall. And here we go. Keep your back straight, don't lean forward. And really use the back of your legs to push against the wall. Keep pushing. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other leg. Heel into wall, push it. Tuck your tailbone in slightly. Stay upright. Keep pushing. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Well done, everyone. If you fancy this, you can do another set. And obviously, if you can do it 2-3 times in a week, that will be really good for your posture. It's going to help the way you walk and the way you move as well. So until next time, bye now.